You know, in the 1950s, versions of the Montreal Canadiens featured a wide range of players from the top of the heap to one-game wonders. Now, but this guy is sort of the forgotten Montreal Canadiens. I completely forgot about him until I read a little post about Lamont, Alberta a couple of months ago, and mentioned this guy was a native of their beautiful community in Alberta. Now, Gene Achtymichuk, or Achtymichuk, was born September 7, 1932 in Lamont. Now, he eventually came to major prominence with a very popular squad called the Crow's Nest Pass Lions, and were later called the Kohlers of the WJCHL. 51 season, he had 64 points that year, including 37 games. Next season, he was still playing with Crow's Nest, 86 points in 44 games, and Gene saw his first NHL action with a 1952 version of the Habs with one game. Now, from then, he found himself in three major minor pro leagues: Buffalo Bisons of the AHL in 1953, where he scored 7 goals. He played 2 seasons with Victoria Cougars of the WHL in 54 and 55, putting up 29 goals in 34 games, and then found his way to the Montreal affiliate, the Quebec Acers of the QHL. 1956, he had 50 points in 64 games. 57, he had 57 points in 62 games. Now, after his 5-year absence, he found himself back with the Montreal Canadiens in 57 with 3 games. Now, 58 was an interesting season. I tell you why. That's the year, of course, Montreal won the Cup as part of their 5 straight. Now, he did very well for Montreal that year with 8 points in 16 games, including 3 goals. Had another consistent season with Montreal. With the Royals, 52 points in 54 games. Now, I'm not sure if he put his name on as a cup. I know he didn't play in the playoffs, but well-deserving, like the 16 games he put in. I heard he was a great teammate for all the strong Montreal roster they had that year. Now, 59, he found himself out of Montreal. He played 12 games with the Red Wings with no goals, but had 33 points in 29 games with the Edmonton Flyers. Now, back with the Flyers in 1960, he had 20 goals in 67 games. 61, he split time between the Flyers and the Sudbury Wolves, who that year were the EPHL. He had 11 goals in 62 games. Portland Buckaroos of the WHL, 73 points in 62, including 17 goals. Then with the Knoxville Knights, for 2 seasons, 60 goals in 140 regular season games, 63 and 64. Long Island Ducks in 65 and 66, both 30-goal seasons, 30 and 65, and 34 in 66. But get this, ladies and gentlemen, we returned to the Portland Buckaroos for the WHL playoffs that year with 2 games. Now back to the EHL with Long Island in 67. For 58 points in 71 games, 68 again with the EHL's Long Island Ducks, 18 points in 35 games, and he wrapped up his minor pro career with 3 strong seasons with the ASHL's Edmonton Monarchs between 69 and 71. Now, as a lot of people remember, he was a player head coach for Long Island in 67 and 68, led them to kind of a 500 record. With the Monarchs in 69, he was a player head coach, 29-12-1 record, very consistent. 72, again, he became the full-time head coach of the Monarchs in the PRHL with a 24-14 record, and then found himself with the Fort Saskatchewan Traders, not traitors, of course, AJHL head coach, 33, 24-3. So in these 5 years as a player head coach and a head coach, very consistent numbers. Again, in his last 3 seasons, he had a winning percentage of well over 60% combined. So tremendous player, tremendous head coach. So final NHL totals: 3, 5, and 8 in 32 games. Again, over 4 seasons. But again, 1958. Let's put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. He was playing for 16 games on a team that included Dickie Moore, Henri Richard, Jean Beliveau, Claude Provost, Boom Boom Jeffrey, Phil Goyette, Donnie Marshall, Doug Harvey, Marcel Bonin, Bernard Olmsted, Walker Richard, Henri Provost, Donald Saint Laurent, Tom Johnson, Jean-Guy Talbot, Floyd Curry, Bob Turner, Ralph Backstrom, Abe McDonald, and of course Jacques Plante and Charlie Lodge in net. So just to make the team, this is the Hall of Fame team, ladies and gentlemen. Countless Hall of Famers on the squad. And again, if you look at the stats, he made that team. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here. He had some injuries with Bert Olmsted that year, and Boom Boom was out with suspension, I think, for a while, or injury. So he was basically playing second, third line, and what a tremendous legacy to pass on to your family in one of the most beautiful communities in Alberta. So Achtymichuk, again, a tremendous career in the minor leagues, 5'11", 170, and you can never have too many 5'11" centers in that era of hockey, because he was, from what I heard as well, a gentlemanly player. Rarely would take a bad penalty, because if you made a mistake at that level in the NHL, but he did get a little rough in the EHL, because the EHL was a kind of, not say a fighting league, but you fought for position. So if you like what you're doing here with the Vintage Podcast, let us know with a like, comment, or subscribe. And if you'd like me to feature more vintage players from Boston, Montreal, Toronto, let me know who I've missed. Check my search engine for the close to 1,700 podcasts we've done over the last 3 years on sports, entertainment, politics, different stuff. And if you can get through it, you're a better person than me, because it took me 3 years to do all these podcasts for you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.